accountant.
Wait, before the quarantine? That was the thing?
No. I worked from home, and I had a. That's how I was able to go to school and then intern at Arms Acres. I was actually working 2 places at one time and going to school full time.
Wow.
But I worked on the computer and did spreadsheets and did all this paperwork. Everything was paperwork, you know? And then when I told my sponsor, I was petrified to go back to school, petrified. And she said to me, you can only try. What's the worst that can happen? And I said, what if I fail? She says, so you try again. She was, one thing that I have to say, and I keep it in the forefront of my mind and my heart, is that my sponsor has said to me, always remain teachable. And whenever I have celebrated my anniversary, that's the one thing that I end up trying to pass forward. Like you said, people become complacent, and I say to them, don't become complacent, become teachable. You must constantly be teachable. You must constantly look over your year and say, where do I need improvement? Where am I going forward in the right direction? You know, I tell a lot of my patients, if you're slamming your head against the wall constantly in the direction you're going, it's the wrong direction. Change. The other statement that she made to me was, stop being an oak and start being a willow and sway like a willow. Be ready to bend with the changes. And you know, I keep in mind, I never ever put anything before my sobriety. Never. You know, and I watch what makes people go out. Over the years I have watched, and the one thing that I see that's consistent is that people put something in front of their sobriety. And once your sobriety takes second place, the demon has an opening.
And how have you kept that on Front Street for all these many years?
How have I kept it there? By the statements that I make to myself in the morning. It's not an option. And if something gets in the way of my sobriety, it has to go. I had a relationship with my mother that was toxic. She was a narcissist, and she used to constantly attack. When I was using, I was the black sheep of the family. When I got sober, she said, well, we can't all be like little Miss Goody Two-Shoes. I was damned if I did and damned if I didn't, you know? There was one time where I nearly went out and drank. And that was in an instant with her, and she pushed the last of the buttons and made that kind of comment, and I looked at her, and here I was trying to find her housing, and I was having my 3 kids waiting at home and my husband waiting at home for dinner after I had worked all day, and she didn't want to go anywhere, and she said, oh, well, we can't all be like little Miss Goody Two-Shoes over here. And it broke me. And I left. I said to my sister, you can take her home. I can't do this anymore. And I went out the door, and I got in my car, and I was going for a drink. And I got stopped at a light that seemed like it lasted forever, a 2-minute light. It just stood there. And all of a sudden, I'm hysterical, the tears coming down my eyes. And this God truck, you know, those big trucks that have the G-O-D, turned the corner and went this way, right in front of me. And I looked at that and I said, she's a people, places, and thing. And I had to actually eliminate. It was she's in front of my sobriety. No, you don't get in front of my sobriety. And for 3 years before my mother passed away, I didn't talk to my mother at all. I had to back away from my mother. Anybody that gets in front of my sobriety has to go. Because I need to stay sober. If I'm not sober, I destroy.
You can follow us on social media at Recovery Media Podcast. And to hear the entire interview, head over and download, rate, review, and subscribe to the Recovery Media Podcast wherever great podcasts are found.